Boom.
last night's stream.
Mm-hmm. And what
Sir,
happened?
whose views
Alright.
up, dude?
What happened to it? It was good or bad for it. I should be
No.
live now. Should be live. Should be live. All right, so sorry about that, guys. I had to redo OBS. OBS screwed up on us. Anyway, while you guys jump back into the chat, let's definitely get into the panel real quick. It has been a minute. What you guys been playing? I'm gonna start with Hunter. What you been playing?
Me, I've been playing Lego Star Wars. I beat all 9 campaigns. I've got think about 500 Kyber bricks. There's 1,100 and some odd.
Oh,
This game's huge, man. I can't believe how huge this game is.
I see you. Guys, do
Yeah.
us a favor, hit that like button and share it out. I had to redo it. OBS screwed up on us. Sorry about that. And everybody in the chat. So you are a Legos fanatic. You trying to tell me that you one of those?
I mean, they're always just fun games. It's like it's like watching like a yeah, dude. It's like
They hit home. That's what I played in 5th grade. The
I can't.
Lego Star Wars games were awesome back in the day. 5th grade.
totally.
Like, come on.
They're just fun, man. Here's the thing too. This year so far, I played all of these high-end graphic games and hard games like Elden Ring and Horizon, spending 40-50 hours playing that game. It's kind of like a Ghostwire Tokyo. I spent 30 plus hours in that game. It's kind of dude, after I played all these games and got my ass handed to me 100 times in Elden Ring, it's just fun to kick. That's why I was playing Kirby too, man. I'm playing the Kirby on Nintendo.
At least you're bouncing from game to game type thing. Me,
yeah, man.
I'm having a trouble doing that. I don't know if it's just me and my lack of attention now, but I have to commit all the way to I'm fully satisfied that I'm done with the game before I jump to another. I can't go, okay, I beat the story, let me go boom. Nah, I can't do that now. I don't know why. For some reason.
I think I'm doing the same too. I just beat Ghostwire a while ago, got the platinum, and I'm I've wrapped up my Horizon playthrough now. Elden Ring I beat a month ago.
Yeah.
So it's kind of dude, I beat all these games, wrapped them up. This is my break. This is just I'm just having a fun, relaxing week of no stress, laughing at silly Lego characters doing crazy things, throwing bananas at each other instead of lightsabers. It's just fun, man. Honestly, it doesn't matter whether you played the last couple of Lego Star Wars games or not. This game is just, I think graphically it's way better than any of the previous ones. Gameplay is certainly way better. Combat's way better. You can actually do combos now.
Yeah, I heard people are DMC, man.
Yeah,
the Lego version.
The combat before was always just not so good. It was just bland. But now you can do air combos and ground pounds and then the blaster shooting too has this over the shoulder angle, which makes it feel much more immersive and just more accurate too when you're shooting. So yeah, it's just fun, man. You saw they just announced that at least in the UK it's the second best selling game of the year. It's actually for launch sales, I mean. So it actually beat Gran Turismo, it beat Horizon. It's just behind Elden Ring. So really awesome to see the game doing so well.
Did you just say Legos is immersive?
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking of the blaster shooting. The blaster shooting is.
I'm just messing with you.
I'm just saying, in comparison to the old Lego game.
I've been playing. My son buys them all. Actually, the Harry Potter one was $3. And he's like, "Oh, I want to try that one, for the PS4." So I bought him. It's 2 games. But yeah, trust me, I know those Lego games are fucking annoying when it comes to puzzles. Because I'm not used to playing them, so I don't know what to look for, what to do. God, but they're definitely a lot of fun, man.
Did well on Steam. It's 82,000 peak all-time peak, and 38,000 is playing it right now.
Well, the good thing that I like about this one is I totally agree, Blaze. The puzzles were always annoying because if you can't figure it out, then it's just you're what the heck? This is a kid's game. Why can't I figure out this puzzle? But
right. It's a kid's game. Some of these puzzles, I'm what the fuck like is going
Yeah.
on?
The good thing though with this one is you can actually buy hints.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I know it seems weird in a kid's game, but yeah, there's a couple times where I'm like, what do I got? Like, how do I actually get this? Like, where do I go? What are the steps I got to take for this? And you just buy a hint in it. It like walks through. Do this. Do this. Do this. Do this.
So they use like the Lego currency to buy the hint.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
You just throw them like 30,000 Lego studs, and there you go. There's your hint.
Brad, before I get to you, shout out to Ice Queen Gaming. I did see your super chat. Shout out to you for being a member for 13 months. Shout out to you. Shout out to all the members on the channel. Reda, what you been playing, man? I know you got your Steam Deck. You haven't been the same since you got it. You know, you've been stepping up the blaze lately. I'm blown away. What happened?
Definitely it didn't. I don't know why
What's going on with
spewing some quote unquote fake news here, but
what?
Anyways, but going into the game library, yeah, I've been, because of missing the podcast, going to New York, I was like, perfect time, bring my Steam Deck with me, download a bunch of games. And so far, I've been playing Yakuza 0. I've beaten 2 games on it. South Park Stick of Truth, really, really good game. Really enjoyed it, made by Obsidian. And Life is Strange True Colors, that game, way better than Life is Strange 2, because I didn't really care for Life is Strange 2. That's probably the worst in the series. Maybe not the worst, second worst compared to Before the Storm. I think Before the Storm's the worst.
Yeah.
But having all the chapters like actually there and not waiting for them is really, really good, because that's like a lot of problems people have with these interactive games, is waiting for these episodes to come out, and them being there available right when the game comes out is a real good plus. And Deck 9, I actually now have faith for them to continue the Life is Strange franchise. But then been playing Zero, Death Stranding Director's Cut, really, really good on PC. And what else? And Final Fantasy 14 patch 6.1 Newfound Adventurer, really, really good. They revamped PvP. PvP is actually really fun, and they have a armor set when you reach rank 25 that is kind of like heavily inspired by Dark Souls. And I showed Blaze, and he's like, "Yeah, that's very much inspired by Dark Souls." So, been having a great time.
All right, I see you. Blaze, what you play?
I heard you might want to leave things, letting people know that you're enjoying Life is Strange is like me saying,
"Oh, come on, bro! It's a good game, bro. Come on now."
Here we go.
You got to be honest.
Here we go.
No. Be honest for sure. I mean, look, you play Final Fantasy 14, so
hey, it's a good game, bro. I don't know.
You can't jump down the rabbit hole any more than that. So.
Oh man.
No, I'm just messing with you though. Good. I'm glad you have a Steam Deck and you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
I'm not playing anything. I'm just playing, Elden Ring. That's all I've been playing. I can't play anything else. I play Elden Ring every day. And Dark Souls. Last night I played Elden Ring, and then I jumped to Dark Souls, to Demon Souls, and I booted up Bloodborne. Then I went back to Elden Ring. Like I just keep hopping around.
Can't get out the Souls genre.
No, Elden Ring's fucking annoying right now. The PvP is broken. It's completely broken, dude.
I'm gonna shock you right now. So obviously you guys know Angry Joe. You guys are familiar with Angry Joe. What do you guys think he gave Elden Ring? Because he did a review. I'm gonna tell you what he would. Huh?
He gave it a 10.
You saw it? Yeah.
I didn't watch it, but everyone was tweeting
it on Twitter.
He gave it a 10 out of 10. That should tell you how insane the game is for everybody. It's amazing. I don't want us to dwell into the Elden Ring because we seem to be we do it every show.
We're not going to talk about New York Times. We're not going.
Oh no, we're too good.
We're not going to talk about the success being because of the pandemic.
It is the easiest Elden. It is the easiest Soul game though. It is. It is.
Let's get into this, man. Y'all see the title. Y'all see the thumbnail. How do we go about this, man? This news kind of destroyed the internet in like record time. Everybody was tweeting this. Everybody was like, my phone was going off left and right, and I'm like going, what's going on? I got Lobo saying, yo, Ryan, Wonton was right. I'm like, what? Dude, Kojima Productions is going to PlayStation. I'm like, if only you knew. Really, if only you knew. So, as you guys know, I work with IGN as a freelancer. I have access to their site and a lot of stuff behind the scenes before it goes up on the site or on YouTube. A lot of stuff that you guys were probably talking about wasn't even greenlit, for one. And on top of that, a lot of them were just were like drafts. People were going crazy off of. So when I saw this, and then I saw everybody going, "Yup, it's a wrap. It's Hideo Kojima is bought," and Kojima tweets it out, and everybody goes, "Oh my God, it's true." I'm like, did anybody else see the co-tweet that he put beside it? Because he basically said they remain independent and they're not being bought at all. And Jeff Grubb also added to the story. He said that the big acquisition is not Kojima. It's something different. It's something else. So before I pass this along, I'm going to add on to this. So the big acquisition, since we know for a fact it's not Kojima, even though there's a part to this. I mean, there's two sides to every story type of thing, right? Kojima could very well be bought. And it could be something similar like we saw with Insomniac. Let's say Sony got them cheap, paid for the new location, hence why they relocated, and Kojima's very quiet about it. And they're working with Sony under PlayStation Studios, right? However, they're having a sort of a Bungie type of deal where they remain independent. They can make games wherever they want and do whatever they want, but obviously they'll be under the umbrella, which is PlayStation Studios. That's possible. But also, there's another thing to take into account here. Again, we're talking about a massive acquisition they're talking about here, right? And obviously, Kojima Productions, even though Kojima's behind it, Kojima Productions is a brand new studio. It's not necessarily, it doesn't have the foundation or the legacy to be considered a crazy, major acquisition, the way people are hyping it up. So it would have to be in 3 studios. And I think we talked about 2 multiple times, Capcom and Square Enix. But I'm going to throw one out here, and I'm going to make Red Hood cringe when I say this. Because Blaze just mentioned their games. If I was a crazy betting man, I would say that Sony probably bought into From Software and signed some crazy deal with Katakawa. And that's going to be part of the studios. But then again, Capcom would be the more reasonable source with Evo and everything else on the horizon. It makes sense with Capcom. That's my take. Who wants to go first on this? Who wants to share their take? I'm curious.
I know Hunter tweeted it out first. He was one of the first ones. So him or Blaze.
You want to go first?
Yeah,
how you feel?
Well,
How you feel about this?
I was live when it happened, so I clicked it and like, Blaze, check out the thing, and I click it. I'm like, holy shit! So I start running my mouth about Xbox, how it's over, and then they're like, well, Blaze, you should click
look at
the link,
Kojima's
hit the translation. So I read it and I quietly just
got away from it.
Yeah, I do a little nod to myself. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. Not that it changed that Xbox is, and then fucking about to get mollywop when these games drop. But look at Kojima. I've told you guys this before. It doesn't matter. They don't need to buy Kojima. Why? Unless Xbox were to come somehow get Kojima and manipulate them into going with Xbox, the relationship Sony has with them is just it's you can't break that shit. It's like Insomniac before they were signed. Like they were basically signed to Sony even though they weren't signed to Sony. They're loyal. Kojima's loyalty is with Sony and PlayStation, man. If they need him to make a game or they want him to make a game, he's going to do it. Okay? Like not even they used the Decima engine. Yeah, that's all new bonding and new relationships that they formed with, Guerrilla and having them pick any engine they want, and that's all cool. But I'm talking about prior from PS2 and PS1, PS2, PS3, all that shit. So they've already had this big bond, this big relationship, and if Sony needs Kojima to do something, I'm sure he would do it. And in terms of who it is, if you read the tweet, they're saying it's not Kojima, it's bigger. The acquisition is going to be bigger than Kojima. So yeah, if it is a Firm Software or, honestly, if it's Square Enix, my life doesn't change, for Square Enix, you know, it's like, wow, whoopie doo, Red Hood's happy.
Capcom
The-
is the one that really would put the you know, the
Capcom would be
spark.
cool.
Yeah, that would be the
Yeah.
one that put the spark. I would say out of like me personally, because I don't think is anybody even getting Forspoken. Are you getting Forspoken? Are you get any of you guys?
Me, yeah.
And
you
I
get-
might try it.
yeah, okay.
No,
'Cause
I'm not actually.
You're not getting
Yeah.
Forspoken because
No.
Forspoken had like a. I think that's fair, right? Like it's been having this sort of reaction, like it's on and off with a lot of gamers. Like it's some days go, oh, okay, the game looks dope, I want it. Then other days like, I don't know what I'm looking at.
Well, the problem with Forspoken for me personally is not because of the gameplay. I think the gameplay looks decent, and having 15 team kind of puts me off a little bit because 15 for me wasn't that great of a Final Fantasy game. But the biggest problem for me is like when they had the trailer put out, the dialogue is very cringy. It reminded me of a CW show, and that's like not a good like impression for me as somebody that like enjoys like Square Enix games. But like other games out of their catalog, I enjoy way more. Like 14 because of Yoshi P, 16 because of Yoshi P, Kingdom Hearts, and because of Nomura and FF7 Remake Part 2. Like in Dragon Quest 12, like those are games that will interest me a lot, but Forspoken, no.
Okay, all right. Now, like, I always, again, it feels like I'm always bringing up Dino Crisis or some kind of remake that I want to come back, and a lot of the games that I want to see come back are under the Capcom helm.
This man,
So-
Big Cloud,
Yeah.
could have any game come back, and he says Dino Crisis. Big Cloud, if you don't get your ass,
Why not Code Veronica, Big Cloud?
Are we already getting that?
No,
I
we're
want-
not.
Dino
That wasn't
Crisis is
leaked at
dope.
all.
Wasn't that supposedly happening before you got
No.
your Resident Evil? No?
No.
I know they're doing 4.
It was
remake.
4.
Yeah,
was
4
the next
four.
one.
remake. So they're not doing Code Veronica at all.
No
It
links.
wasn't in any
People want-
leaks. It wasn't in
people want it
the
bad.
the
'Cause I thought they were
GeForce
going
leak.
in order. I thought they were going, you know what I mean?
They're
Like
not.
Resident Evil 1, 2, 3, and then moving up.
Nope,
But-
they're just doing based off, I guess, appeal. But even though Code Veronica, everyone's asking for it, they're just going, I guess,
but
for the
4 is
ones
still
that
the
sell the
bigger
most.
game. 4 is
Yeah.
still the bigger game, bro.
Yeah, it is. Like 4 is the most iconic for a lot of them. 4 was like the perfect mix of just combat and you know what I mean, scare like horror and all that. I already know it's gonna be good. Like I don't even have to really speculate on Resident Evil 4 because all you have to do is just add Resident Evil 2 remakes controls, and that's it. You can add the QuickTime vents all you want. That's all
Well,
you
then
gotta do.
4, they're also doing the proto version of RE4, which was supposed to have Leon hallucinating and all this other stuff and make it more horror
like
based,
seeing more like crazy stuff happen around them.
like ghosts and stuff. Like if you saw like the proto version of RE4, it's going to be more like that, as well as the control scheme of RE2 remake and RE3 remake. So that's going to be way different compared to the suplexes you're doing in drop kicks from like the original game.
No, you talking about the suplexes. Who we gonna ignore the infamous knife, the indestructible one?
That too. Like I don't think they're gonna have an indestructible knife. They're going very much like RE2, where you use it 4 times, 3 times.
You can't have his knife break
Yes, you.
or get
Bro.
dull. Come on, that's gonna look stupid. Imagine fighting Krauser and your knife is dull.
Yeah, I
It's
hate
better
that
than
shit,
me.
bro.
You know what
Like
I'm
your
saying?
knife is never gonna
What's the
break.
point? You can't be
What are you
Krauser.
fucking?
I enjoy it in
Are you
RE2.
stabbing a fucking rock? Like what's going on? Why is my knife break?
Exactly.
I don't know. I
Don't
enjoyed
add
it more
dumb
in
shit
RE2.
like that, please.
I'm more excited for the Ada missions. I would say because then I think they said they were gonna add more for Ada.
Yes.
Do in the
Yeah.
game. So that's gonna be exciting. And Ashley is getting some new and improved missions. Now, if they're gonna redo Ashley, for the love of God, don't have this woman screaming Leon every 5 minutes. Please make this woman strong. Like do something. You know what I mean? Have her go from being the scared
She
girl to being a
fucking
badass.
screams Leon and help and all fucking game, bro. It's so annoying.
It really is. And then she gets taken away, gets carried away. I'm like, if you don't fight back, like, come on, man. Like, I gotta do this.
You want her like to be like Ellie? Or
I mean, yo, on
she's
real
like
note, Sony
taking
likes
initiative and
Dude, Sony loves pushing female lead protagonists. I'm surprised Capcom has not done something like that where they at least elevate the character. You know, have them go from being scared, timid
Yeah, but
characters
she's not a
to
fighter.
badass.
She's not a fighter. She's I'm not saying she can't scream for help, but like they don't need to trigger it as much as they did in the original
I mean,
game.
yeah.
Like,
You tell her to hide. She's hiding in this convenient closet. Come on, man. Oh man, I don't know. That's just how I would take the game. What's up? What you about to say?
I was gonna say, going back to the Kojima stuff, because I think most of you guys are on the side of like he's gonna be independent. I'm in the side of the camp of we've seen this before with several studios that maybe one studio that PlayStation acquired, which was Bluepoint Games, and they said that they're independent. Like literally, the leak
description says it.
Yeah, and they literally changed their Twitter profile and said independent as a result of the leaks, because when those leaks come out, they can't confirm anything. They have to say, "Hey, we're independent," because of the deal going through. Kojima, that could very much well be the same case, because I think it's weird that he moves to a new building, doesn't disclose what the new building is, but takes a bunch of pictures of him leaving his old building. Yeah. 2, like, as well as like that what the timeline is March 31st where he leaves the building, and then we see PlayStation Studios logo where they take out Concrete Genie, which is a PlayStation Studio game first party, and then they replace Death Stranding, which isn't a first party studio, and then he acknowledges it with the PlayStation Studio logo for several minutes. I think it may have been several minutes, and then he says, "Oh, we're going to remain independent, etc., etc." I wouldn't be surprised or shocked if it comes out later on he's acquired. And I'm going to put, like, not even devil's advocate, like, throw, like, a crazy shot out there and saying that they acquired Konami in terms of their IPs or something like that.
So you're on board with
I don't believe it, but I'm going to throw that crazy prediction out there.
I mean, again, if we go back to rumors, the biggest thing that's been going around, right? One of the biggest things was Metal Gear remake, right? Then it was Castlevania, and then there was Silent Hills. All 3 of those games are owned by Konami. So, I mean, if Sony bought Konami, and then let's say they struck a deal with Kojima, that would be like a crazy, ace card type of thing. But again, that's the cool thing about this. You never really know, and Sony's out here really surprising people. The 2 like acquisitions lately, though, especially the ones we didn't see anything from Haven Studios. So I'm guessing Sony saw something that was game changing from Haven Studios.
But also think about this, BitCloud. They probably saw something game changing, and they thought in their mind, "Hey, this might actually do well, and if it does do well, it's going to cost a lot more for us to acquire Haven Studio as a result. So let's just acquire them now because it's going to be cheaper than acquiring them later if it's a huge success." Yeah. But I also forgot to mention for Kojima, a big thing Sony can offer Kojima is putting him also into the Pictures division and having him make Pictures division / TV division, having him make shows and movies with certain actors and directors, choreographers and script writers and all that. Like that's a big thing. Like that's one of the reasons why Bungie went with Sony, was because their ties to the movie industry and TV industry as well.
Right.
So
understand.
Kojima already announced that he was planning on expanding into movies and TV, right? That was like, there was like some announcement last year that he said about that, right? So yeah, totally makes sense. I see the synergies there for sure.
I was I don't want to sideway into this, but I've been seeing some weird takes, especially on Twitter, from a certain somebody. And it's crazy. This guy is iconic when it comes to the gaming aspect. David Jaffe. Have you been seeing Jaffe's posts lately?
Listen.
Oh my God.
Is it more out there than usual?
It's weird, man.
Dude, he's just throwing. It feels like the most pettiest criticism
I think he's better.
I've ever seen.
I do think
so. You can tell he's like something happened with Sony.
Something's going on with this man.
He's
hurt.
He's going after petty attacks against Sony all the time. He's like,
I literally, this is my theory. I think was it Death's what is it, the draw game that he made that became a PS Plus,
Drawn to Death.
Death.
Yeah.
I think the game did so bad that PlayStation didn't want to continue their relationship with David Jaffe, and
Yeah.
maybe he's always been contacting them.
To
and
be
he's
fair,
always been
Drawn to Death
saying
was
no.
a look it, man. To be fair, that was a unique game. I
Mhm.
tried it. I was shooting some people. I actually uploaded a video a long time ago. Like, is it a game that I stuck with? No, I dropped it after a couple days. But he tried something new. Like, yo, David Jaffe is a little butthurt, maybe because he's not mentioned with the best of the best. You know, like
Or mentioned because of his creation, God of War, as well.
Right. Like he feels like, hey, you know, I was there when this shit started. Like, you know,
And this is where it
or
is.
maybe.
He said that he was like upset about not being consulted for Twisted Metal. Did you guys read
That's
that?
him, probably.
The TV show that Peacock is filming now. He wanted to be consulted, but like, why? You haven't worked for Play. Like, I get it. It's your franchise, but Peacock is filming now. Sony owns it, and you don't work at Sony.
Yeah.
And why would they give him a courtesy heads up? Like, oh, by the way, we're I don't know. Like, because he's under no obligation to keep it secret. Like, what are they gonna do? Like, sign like 10-page NDAs just to tell them that they're working on a Twisted Metal TV show?
Yeah.
So it's weird, man. Honestly, like I don't have anything against the guy at all. But
none
like,
of us do.
But
It's
like,
petty.
yeah. I mean, like a couple years ago when he started getting really big on Twitter, like I was really interested in what he was saying, and I followed him a lot closer. But these days, it's just. I don't know. He was like he just does weird things. One thing he did to me, like I tweeted like a couple months ago, I was like, who is the Sony PlayStation mascot? And I had like photos of the usual suspects like Aloy and Kratos and Sackboy and stuff like that. And then he responded with a photo of that PlayStation VP that got there was like the pedophile charges against him.
Yeah.
And he was like, "This is the mascot of Sony," and I'm like, "Dude, what are you like? What are you doing? That's not funny. Like it's not.
Some of his
It's
takes,
cringe. It's horrible. Like what are you? Why are you doing this, man?
Are takes you would expect from somebody like a random dude on Twitter that just wants attention, like on some real. That's crazy.
Yeah,
like, it's wild. It's
I don't know. I think he's just like. He just knows that his like game development career is pretty much done, and so he's got to work on. He's got to work on phase 2, which is I don't know, just like lowbrow Twitter stuff. I don't know.
I don't follow all these guys like you guys do. Like I don't go like David Jaffe. I don't follow. I look at man. I'm different. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I just don't follow these guys like just because they got movement. If I like the guy, if I like their takes, if I like how they, how they are as a person, then I'll follow them. That like you having followers doesn't make me like you. Like I want to see you as a person. Like see people follow people like maybe I can get them on a podcast. I'll follow like build a relate. Like nah, like it shouldn't be that way.
I think the whole point with him is that like his takes a few years ago were pretty good.
Yeah, they were pretty tamed and reasonable. But now
but he's gone off the deep end last year or two. Like he's just really like
I wouldn't know that
bizarre things that I'm like, what is going on, man? Like this is what you're doing these days. But anyways, like all the power to him, man. Like, hey, man, he's got an audience. He's building things.
I thought he was turning a new leaf type of thing. Because remember, like I don't know if you saw, he had the Days Gone directors on. Remember that? Like,
I watched. Those were pretty good.
Yeah, I was okay. Maybe he's doing this, and this is going to lead to that. They were talking about reminiscing their time, and I'm okay. This is cool. And then we go into this extreme, just petty stuff. Like, yo, this is the new mascot for Sony. Someone who's a pedophile. I'm like, dude.
Yeah.
Like, stop. This is not cool. And on top of that, what is this supposed to accomplish? Nothing. You look even more weird in every aspect. So I don't know, but that just solidifies, man. I don't know, man. David, maybe it's the views. You know how dudes get caught up in these view wars. Maybe it's that. I'm not sure, but
yeah. Hey man, he made some great games. Like I think that I've got not the same to degree with David Jaffe, but also like folks like Cliffy, like Cliffy
Oh, yeah.
from
Yeah.
Cliffy B. But like, dude, like, cause now it's just kind of like, I don't know. I just generally see him like ranting and raving a lot on Twitter. I don't really care to read most of that, but at the same time, I always just like think about the history. I'm just like, you know what? Like, I may not be into what he's doing these days, but like, he made some of my favorite games of all time. Same with Jaffe, man. Jaffe made Twisted Metal, God of War. Like, I'm just gonna like remember them for that and just like just kind of tune
got
out
nothing. Listen,
what I'm seeing these days.
I think we all have equal ground there. Like, we all will respect him because he gave us God of War, right? That's where it ends at that point. It's like, dude, you just go your way and we'll go ours, because I don't know. I just can't take a lot of stuff he says serious anymore. And,
Yeah, but I'm surprised like an Xbox wouldn't take a chance. Like, hey, can you recreate something similar to like God of War? Maybe not third person over the shoulder, but maybe like something similar to that. The point is,
nostalgia only gets you so far, bro.
But it's not nostalgia. Like, maybe look at the guy, like you guys said, the guy has a lot of history, and it's a lot of good history, So, I mean, maybe he just feels like, look at the gaming industry is, what have you done for me lately? Like, oh yeah, you made a great game 20 years ago. Nobody gives a fuck, dude. Like, what are you doing now? Like, you're not doing anything. That's how it is. Like, that's just how it is.
That's true.
For sure. And plus, like, the other thing too, man, like, I honestly think a lot of folks, like, I don't know how old Jaffe is, but he's like getting up there. But like, I think a lot of people, when you get to ages like that, you just start not giving an F. Like,
That's true.
I'm dude, I feel the same way. Like, every year that goes by, I'm giving less Fs than I gave the year before. So I can't even imagine how I'm gonna think when I'm 50.
Yeah.
50 plus, right? So yeah, it's just.
Jerry
like,
says,
dude,
how
like,
do you know he hasn't been approached by Microsoft? I mean, let's be real here, Jerry. I mean, not like do you know that saying, not all publicity is good publicity? He brings some of the weirdest like energy. You know what I mean, Jerry? I don't think Microsoft really would want to work with dude right now. I don't think anybody wants to work with him. I think Dave is just living off of the hits of what he made in the past, and he's converting that into an audience on YouTube, right? And he's trying to make it kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for? Not prolific, right? But he's trying to turn it into like that perfect mix, good and bad type of audience. I don't know. He's looking for that type of audience he's trying to build. And personally, again, it's good luck to him. That's all I gotta say. This man literally was complaining for 3 hours that he couldn't jump in God of War 2018. Do you guys really think Microsoft would be interested in working with a guy like that? What's he gonna say about Gears of War? Oh, I can't jump in Gears. When have you ever jumped in Gears?
Dude, he was like, I just happened to see someone tweeted about, I guess he made a video for Lego Star Wars. It was like a like 8 or 9 minute ranting about, I guess, like there's like a wonky camera angle. Like, I played the game and like, sure, okay, there, like, sometimes there's like this crazy wonky.
I thought the funniest thing from him was like him complaining about Metroid Dread and him not realizing like all the Metroid
shooting
games,
the ceiling?
like shooting the ceiling and stuff like that. I thought that was the funniest stuff.
Well, that's like that's why I just kind of like tune out, because it's just like I can't really, I don't want to listen to that. I don't want to see that, and I can't relate to that. Like, I beat Metroid Dread. I had no problem, and there wasn't at any point where I'm like, oh shoot, I wasted 40 minutes and I could have just shot the ceiling. I didn't have like Lego Star Wars. Like, I would. There was like a couple of times where I'm like, okay, the camera angle here is not the best, but it's like, I can't relate to watching 9-minute videos complaining about stuff like this. It's just like, whatever, man. It's not interesting.
It's just it's wild to me. It's so wild.
But I will say, like, just to back up your point too, the interviews that he did with the Days Gone folks, like, that's the kind of stuff I want to see more of, man. Like,
right, I would be all in.
Those interviews were like interesting. They were like neat insights. Like, we got to sort of learn how PlayStation works. We figured out, some success metrics for Days Gone that we weren't aware of before. Like, there was really like interesting things, and like, I thought the format worked as well. Like, taking questions from the audience, and David Jaffe asks a lot of really insightful questions. So like, dude, like, my opinion, lean
where's
into that kind of
where's
stuff.
that content? You know what I mean? For just the basics. I'm just like, that's why I don't get it. This man T Harris said he complained about Kana's difficulty. No way. Oh God. Well, there you guys go. I'm just gonna move away. I'm just gonna move away from it. I'm not even gonna go into it. It's gonna be a rabbit hole of just problems that this man's clearly got issues with. Let's see here. Let's go. Sony invested $1 billion into Epic Games.
Yep. Now they own 5%.
5% of Epic. They're really trying to put more into Epic Games. Is anybody surprised by this or blown away by this?
No, especially like with Unreal Engine being a big thing, and them also want to get a return on their investment like every year from them. You know, bigger gains and profit gains.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised by it, and not shocked by it. So it makes sense. It's good business strategy, and I wouldn't be shocked if they continue doing so.
Okay.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I'm in the same boat. I mean, honestly, I'm a little disappointed, selfishly, because I would much rather have that billion go towards like 2 or 3 awesome studios. But it absolutely makes sense. Like I'm just saying it because I'm a gamer, but like Sony obviously runs a whole business, and it makes absolutely perfect sense. I think Epic Games is just doing phenomenal things. Unreal 5 is just amazing. To get a slice of that revenue coming in every year is going to be huge for Sony. I think it's ultimately going to be really beneficial to PlayStation gamers because, like, if Epic Games, like the actual games that they make, like Fortnite and what else do they do these days? Just Fortnite. Like I first of all, they're going to go with Sony first for anything exclusive. If there's like new skins or whatever, they're going to go to Sony first because they're just so close with them, which is one perk. But then like you have to imagine that Sony is going to have a stronger influence than most studios out there when it comes to evolving the tech for Unreal Engine, right? Like they're an owner, so it just makes sense. And then like I don't know, it was kind of weird because it seemed like the $1 billion that they just invested was going to be for the metaverse, which makes sense because that's like the big buzz thing. But I'm just like, I think that was the first time I've heard Sony talk a lot about the metaverse. Like, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong if they've had other like mentions of it, but I'm just like, what is Sony like? Because it also seemed like that it was more Sony versus PlayStation. So not necessarily like if it's PlayStation, you think, okay, it's PlayStation Home or like some version of PlayStation Home or something like that. But it seemed like to me that maybe it was more about like the esports stuff and like just finding immersive ways to get the audience into the esports more. So I don't know. It's certainly an interesting play, and it's also interesting too that it seems like every 6 to 8 months they keep on reinvesting, right? It was like 250 million, and then 200 million, and then $1 billion. Like I don't know, but
clearly they see something that they like out of this studio and everything. Blaze, what you got? Want to add anything to this?
No, it's
no.
And
like I'm gonna tag this to it since if you don't have much to add, I can tag this onto it because there was a presentation, and you already know what I'm going with this because we didn't get a chance to talk about this. The Unreal Engine 5 presentation. We saw some snippets of Gears of War, and we saw some more games and concepts in the actual engine refined. How you feel about Unreal Engine 5?
I was gonna ask too. Was that actually Gears 5? Because I thought they said it wasn't.
It looked like
Gears 6.
Or Gears 6. I'm sorry.
Yeah,
I thought it was a new one. I thought it was Gears something.
Did you guys think it was interesting that like that presentation seemed to lean more into Xbox than PlayStation, which I thought.
I mean, it's like basically showing like Xbox, wanting to use Unreal Engine because a lot of their like RPG studios want to use Unreal Engine. Yeah. And even CD Projekt Red using Unreal Engine, it just seems like
but Gears has always ran on Unreal Engine, and that was basically a tech demo for Gears. It really was like, I mean, that's what it was.
It's just strange. Like you think with like 5% ownership that Sony would have been like, like telling it more of their studios like, let's work in Unreal 5, like let's get our own Unreal 5 showcase. Like why, like I'm super happy that Xbox is using it. I think Unreal 5 is amazing, and
don't forget who's using it, Hunter. Ben Studios.
Yeah, Ben. I was going to mention them. They're
Ben,
the only studio I think that does.
There was a player model that was in that demo. It kind of looked like Sir Galahad for a second from The Order, and a lot of people literally was talking about The Order during the reveal of the thing. And personally,
we need that franchise back, dude.
That would be so awesome if we got it.
That's like the. Of course, I love Sony so much. I'm repping them on the sweater today, but like, man, like the one thing that I wish they would just focus more is like they make so many IPs, but then IPs just fall by the wayside, man.
Yeah,
like
some kind of just get thrown to die. You know what I mean? Like in the midst, like some do okay.
Dude, I'd be like screaming down the street if a new Order came out. Like if they announced the Order 1887 or something, I'd be like, hell yeah! Like that game was so good. Even Days Gone, man.
Days Gone. Or
I know Days Gone was like a mixed reaction, but like me, man, I loved it. I thought it was fantastic.
Until Dawn.
I want they haven't been acquired yet though. But Ready at Dawn is a shame because like they got acquired by Facebook. So that's like the biggest like.
Yeah, Facebook.
So the original director and everything, he's acquired by Facebook, or is he not with that team anymore?
Ready at Dawn? I don't know. I don't know about the.
I don't think he left Ready at Dawn. I thought.
That's too bad, man.
Like Sony definitely should have acquired Ready at Dawn back then, but I don't know.
I'm so happy for them. Like anytime a studio gets acquired, I'm happy because like Facebook is gonna fund the heck out of them, which is nice. But like. I just can't imagine.
But not in the way that you would think they would fund.
Yeah, like more VR games.
Yeah,
and
so that's what.
That's what I mean. It's like
Hunter's absolutely right, bro.
It's just a different audience.
Fire, dude. They're funding the fuck out. Like the Oculus is selling like hotcakes still to this day, and trust me, they're gonna fund them.
I don't disagree. It's just I guess like most gamers wanted them to like make another AAA game.
We all
in the console space.
Sony's got a problem where if it's like in the middle where it's cool, it's not hot and it's not cold, but like in the middle, they usually just discard that game and move on to something new. And then what ends up happening is 5 years down the line, people are like, damn, you know what? That game was actually pretty good. It had a lot of potential. Like everybody sees the Order had potential. It's just the stupid cut, it was like a tech demo more than anything, but like those stupid ass boss fights, it was kind of generic, but it was still like great.
If you look back at it, Blaze, let's face it, what they did with that engine of that for that game, Blaze, I want that in a lot more games for like werewolf transformation and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Because they nailed everything about the werewolves. They made them look menacing. They look dope. You can actually see the veins pop. When they, you know what I mean, like when their jaws align, like all that stuff.
It was dismemberment. So you can blow off legs and arms. It was awesome. The weapons were unique, and the story around it, like the Knights of the Round Table, that was just interesting. And the
Holy Grail. They made the Holy Grail make actually sense. Like the Holy Grail gives you eternal life if you serve it.
Let me get some of that black juice.
I think like one of the things that does suck about how Sony greenlights new games is I get the impression that they just sort of weight the critical consensus of games like almost as much as they do the sales, because it's just like it just sucks, man. Like it just sucks because like they we were just talking about Jaffe, like in those interviews that he had with like Ross.
Metacritic plays a big factor in a lot of these games.
They said that Days Gone was like over 5 million sold, and it was like at that point that was I think the same amount of sales that Ghost of Tsushima was announced at, right? So it was like there was all these like articles that's like, oh my god, like it sold like pretty much just as well as Ghost of Tsushima, but why is there a movie coming out? Why is there probably a Ghost of Tsushima 2? And it's like it's all because of the critical, which like sure I get it, like of course you want like 80. Like you want that 80 plus on Metacritic, but that's literally it. I think for Days Gone. Like if Days Gone had an 82, then
we
we'd
would
be
have
playing
had
Days Gone
yeah,
2.
we would have had a sequel
Yeah.
announced by now.
It's only because
Absolutely.
it's a yellow.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's true. But you know, I think it's that prolonged wait though. 'Cause remember, again, you said 5 million again, but how long did it take to reach 5 million? You know, how many years did we have to wait? Ghost of Tsushima did 5 million in, I guess you can say, record time for a new IP. It took about like a year for it
Was
to
it
hit that.
record time? I thought
Like
that was Horizon, or maybe maybe you're right.
No, I'm talking about for a new IP. Well, I'm talking about
No.
comparing it to that, to like Days Gone. It kind of did it in record time.
But
To that.
but when Jeff was talking about the 5 million, he wasn't talking about it like present day. It sold 5 million because he left Ben a studio a while ago.
Yeah.
Like if you actually look at the actual amount of time
Mhm.
between the 5 million and when it released, I think it was actually almost the same. It was like a year or something after the game. Both of them had sold 5 million. So it wasn't like, you know, Days Gone took 3 years to get 5 million and Ghost was 1. It was comparable.
Mhm.
That's true.
I think
Fun.
Sony's looking at it too, like, you know, we already got our zombie game that's popular, right?
That's
And
true.
Yeah.
then they're looking at it like, you know, there's so many, that genre is oversaturated on the market. So, you know what, Ben? Like, you guys are talented. Make something else. There's so many of these games out on the market right now. But Days Gone was actually a zombie game that was actually like, I actually liked the characters, and
Yeah.
I actually, you know, was immersed in the world, and I actually enjoyed the storyline to a point where, you know, until it got drawn out towards the end. But that Days Gone is gonna, listen. It's an underrated game. Just visuals alone, it's super underrated. Beautiful game.
We
Unreal
need to get
Engine.
him on the show. That's what we need to do, boys. I think I need to.
Isn't he also at another studio now? If I recall,
Yeah,
I think he's Crystal Dynamics now.
he's
he's
on the Tomb Raider, isn't he?
Yeah, the new one.
I think he's on the Tomb Raider, yeah.
And
Or at
isn't
least
their
like he didn't
studio
actually announce he
in-
was on Tomb Raider, but that's just like what everyone assumes that he's working on.
Isn't their studio in Oregon, like in where they made Days Gone? Isn't that where their studio is? Or no?
Let me see.
Nobody knows.
Let me look.
I'm not sure.
Isn't there a new studio they have?
Bend is in Oregon, right? Yeah. And Days Gone took place in Oregon.
Yeah, it's
right.
yeah,
So that's what
it's
I'm saying.
Oregon.
So like that was a love letter not only to themselves, like, you know, like,
That's like their
I remember-
backyard, man.
dude, people are still tweeting pictures of Days Gone every day. Like, there's a Days Gone, like, the best picture of the week. Like, bro, that
Yeah.
game was awesome.
I'm just like super happy. We were talking about that, like the PlayStation banner that got updated with Kojima. I'm personally like super happy that Days Gone is like so like visible
still
there,
there.
right?
Yeah.
It's like it's still there. It's like front and center. So although we're not getting Days Gone 2, at least like to a certain degree, Sony is like showing this game respect. And then the other thing too that I thought was like really awesome is if you looked at Ben Studio on Twitter, like they are like really getting back into Days Gone again. They're like they were tweeting of like different merch, right? There was like a mug and there was like different figures, and I think they're doing like a
I'm
full
telling you, they're gonna
Twitch
make
stream.
a sequel at this point. You're gonna get one.
Yeah, they're doing like a full. I think like over the next couple of weeks, they're doing a full playthrough of Days Gone on Twitch.
Bro, I can see listen, like Big Cloud's kind of hinted to, like, I can see maybe Sony initial was like no, and then they seen all the feedback, and maybe like, you know, there was, you know, people are leaving, going to, you know, I'm telling you, you never know, bro. Don't just think just because they said it in an article fucking 2 years ago that it, you know, things change, man.
Mm-hmm.
I think it'll happen.
They
I
said
don't
about
think it'll
Alan
be
Wake
their
was-
next game.
Remember that?
Well, Alan Wake took a decade to come back. So.
Yeah,
But
that's
true
what's
though.
the
But
one.
all it took was was a remaster for the PS4 or PS5. But I think it was a remaster, right? They came out the remaster for the consoles, and then all of a sudden we got Alan Wake 2 announced. So
See, but the
I want
problem
to see
with
what fucking Bluepoint is doing.
that is true.
Bluepoint
yeah,
is the most, listen, out of all these franchises, low key, Bluepoint is so fucking talented, dude.
oh yeah,
Bro.
Oh yeah.
they spoiled us.
I
with
went back to
Demon
Demon Souls,
They
dude.
spoiled
I'm
us.
telling Big Cloud. I went there last night. The sound design, the fucking armor, dude. That game, Bluepoint is
Yeah.
a fucking, god, dare I say, like, fucking Firm Software take some notes on the like visual department. Like, I understand it's a linear game, but
They
Dude,
said
they're-
that.
What did I
They're
say
like-
last time, Bliss? It's like when you go back to Demon Souls from Elden Ring, it's like you go from just this, like a typical game, like look, right? And then you're looking at something that can pass as like a painting type of thing. You know what I mean? Like that's how detailed, how vibrant the colors and everything is with Demon Souls. The way the armors look, it's like it's night and day when you go to Demon Souls and go from like Elden Ring or something.
But that was built for the PS5 ground up.
It
That
was, but
that's a next gen game only. That's a linear game. They can cram as much detail as possible. But I'm not making excuses. But Elden Ring is still great. It's just
I'm
broken
talking
right
about the visuals. Like in the visual,
Well, that's why
it's
like personally, I'm actually a little disappointed that they are actually working on a new IP. But I'm disappointed selfishly, of course, again, because I'm happy for them. I'm sure that's what they wanted to do. But like I'm sure it's gonna be amazing. Whatever they're gonna make, it's gonna be absolutely amazing. But like, man, I would love for them to be working on Metal Gear now.
Bloodborne,
like a Bloodborne.
Yeah.
I think Bluepoint is like one of the only remake studios where they make the remakes so amazing that I kind of don't even want to go back to the original. It's like a lot of remakes I'll still like think fondly to the original, and I'll go back and I'll go revisit it. But it's like Demon Souls is so good. Demon Souls is so good on PS5 that if I ever want to replay Demon Souls, I'm not sure I'd go back to the PS3.
It's the same thing with Shadow of the Colossus.
Shadow of the Colossus. Shadow of the Colossus remake is just so good, and I just don't think I want to go back to the original PS2 version.
What was that other game with
the
Last Guardian? Remember that game? I'm surprised The Last Guardian didn't get a remake at some point.
I mean, it was PS4 game.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're not going to remake it.
What was that? 8 years still?
Yeah. I think it was more than 8 years.
10 years, maybe.
Because that was announced for PS3 back in the day.
Yeah.
I mean, shout out for Sony for not giving up on the game, but fuck it.
Maybe if there's any studio that they gotta invest in and make sure that they have 2 teams, it's them, right? It's Bluepoint. Sure, make your new game.
Allow for a remake.
Yeah, but you got dude, Sony has such a fantastic back catalog.
They can,
right? Like that's why I was excited when Bluepoint got acquired, because I was like, damn, like there's all these PS1, PS2, PS3. Go make remake SOCOM, remake Killzone, remake.
Metal Gear Solid would be number 1, alongside with Legend of Dragoon. They did both those.
Oh yeah, dude.
Just saying.
Everyone always brings up Legend of Dragoon on Twitter.
I don't know. Legend of Dragoon is cool, but does it have the? I don't think it has enough enough.
Dude, my thing is though, if you have a remake, it revitalizes the interest in said game. So if there was to be a sequel.
Yeah, but how deep can you get with that type of a game? Like, you know what I mean? Like, bro, if Bluepoint should just make Bloodborne, just even though Bloodborne just needs a resolution bump and a frame rate bump because it's already a beautiful game, but who knows? They could be. We don't know what's going on. But the point is, nobody knows what's going on. I don't give a fuck who you are. You know what I mean? Unless you're sleeping in bed next to fucking, Jim Ryan, I don't want to hear it. Like all these dudes that think they know what's going on, I hate that shit, man.
Wave Master brought up Infamous 1 and 2 remasters. I mean, hey, I'll take them.
I'm surprised that hasn't even happened yet. Those remasters, like there's a God of War 3 remaster. I would have thought you would have put Infamous 1 and 2, which are the best games out of those.
I'm kind of glad
a continuation. What about a continuation with what's her name from Second Son? Fetch. What's her name? Fetch.
Nah, I think. Nah.
No, you didn't like
her
Fetch?
Her power base. It's just. I don't know. I don't think you can really expand upon that.
Well, you can.
That's already set in stone with the expansion.
Well, you can. I mean,
I'm good with Delson. I'm gonna keep it real. I would have rather preferred Cole to come back.
Yeah,
and I'm saying like he could come back, type of thing. They probably could write him back.
No, they're not. Like they hinted at it in Infamous 2, and the thing is, what would have made a good storyline is two things. You could have made Cole be evil and had an interaction, a really good interaction between the new main character and Cole and stuff like that. Would have been a really good story. Or just had Cole back as the main protagonist. Yeah. Because they had a little question mark after Infamous 2 if you did the good playthrough, and it was just, after his like freaking like he was on the boat and he was on like the casket and stuff, and then boom, the lightning hit with a question mark, and I was like, oh shit, he's gonna come back. But no, they went with Delson, which was to me an uninteresting character compared to Cole.
He was okay. He was kind of predictable. I'll say that, very predictable. And also, your choices didn't seem to matter with Delson at all.
Mm-hmm.
So
I thought Infamous One also had just like a great twist with time travel and all this.
Yeah,
which was really really cool.
I did like the ending though. Also weird. I don't know, maybe because I was just feeling sinister after beating that game. But for the platinum, I did the evil playthrough, and you know, like at the end where Delson gets to the house where his people, and they say, "Get out of here! You're not welcome. We'd rather die than have you come in here." He just jumps into the air and he does the dive bomb and pretty much indicates that he killed everybody. I was like, oh, you know what? I actually like that. I wouldn't mind the evil version of that. You know what? Why not? Because I don't like this character that much. But hey, I'll take this over. I'll take Fetch over this character. But you know, Laura Bailey played the hell out of Fetch. Let's see. We talked.
Yeah, I just
about
hope that Sucker Punch is working on. They're probably working on Ghost of Tsushima too, which is going to be, of course, like fun. But like, if I had my choice, no, man. Like, I'd much rather have a new Infamous or like new Sly Cooper.
Or new IP. That's
yeah.
I don't know. Like
Ghost is
amazing. Great. Like, but I don't know if I want a sequel to it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really. That's the thing. Like the Yiki Island, I thought was great because it gave more background with his father and all that, and a lot. Like, and it just expanded the story, which was nice. But it's like, I don't really have a desire to play another one. It's good. It's a good game. It doesn't really need to have a sequel.
Listen, you got burnt out on that. Like, a lot of people got. That game was so massive, and everybody just ran and did every fucking thing on that map. That people,
dude, that's what I did.
Burnt out and fatigued.
Look
it. I don't mind having Infamous. You know, look it. This is my PS3 is always plugged in. And I feel super, you know, I find value in that, man. I find value that I can, my PS3 is right there and I can play these games anytime. Of course, I wouldn't, you know, I would be super happy if they got remastered or something like that. But like, I just find value in having my PS3 there and I still can play all the, you know, and trust me, they run like shit and starting to look like shit a little bit too, honestly. But yeah, it is. But listen, like bring back fucking Killzone, man. I want to see Killzone. Yo, imagine a next gen Killzone with the blue, that hue lighting with the blood, like with the fucking hell gas with the red eye, like, bro, it would fucking look jaw dropping.
I'm surprised you haven't got one. I'm surprised we haven't got one. Like they shocked the hell out of us. Still an epic moment for PlayStation when we first saw Killzone Shadowfall for the PS4. Obviously, nobody forgot that how dope they.
Well, that shit did the sold PS. That Killzone demo sold PS4s. Period.
It was just dope how they did it. I remember when we first saw it, we was like, okay, what is a new IP? And then they didn't. Oh, I know, no. They told us it was Shadowfall, but when you saw it, you were like, this ain't no Killzone the way it looks. And then all hell breaks loose and just all out.
And then you see the
and
hell
it's
gas.
like, it's like, oh, okay, this looks great. On that topic,
Nazis, man.
Guess who came out? I guess you could say he came out of retirement, right? In terms of the public view. But a legend returned to the industry, man, for an interview. Jack Tretton. I was blown away to see him come back and talk. But basically, he did an interview, and he brought up something that Blaze is very passionate about. A lot of people are passionate about. It's the Vita. He actually shamed Sony. He said he wished Sony would actually have pushed the Vita more than it actually got pushed. And you guys remember, we have a lot of guys who supported the hell out of it and were trying their hardest to sell it. Our good friend Gio Corsi tried his damnedest to sell people on the Vita, especially with the cross buy games you can get on the Vita at the time with PlayStation 4 or PS3 titles. It sucks. It sucked to see, you know, the Vita go down like that.
The issue though, Big Cloud, isn't like they actually had good games. Like, believe it or not, like people say, "Oh, the games are good." Like,
it was okay.
Dude, Uncharted, Golden Abyss,
yeah, they had a few.
Killzone Mercenary, Persona 4 Golden, as well as Freedom Wars, Soul Sacrifice, those games were really, really good.
Gravity Rush.
Games.
Yeah.
Gravity Rush as well. Like
You know what
those
the
games were
problem
really,
was?
really good. The problem is like they overcharged on the proprietary memory
yeah.
cards.
People want to
that they
bring up, look at proprietary bullshit memory cards, sure. But the fact of the matter is the lack of fucking first party support.
That is true.
It's like Sony was allocated, like Ben Studios. Everybody likes them now for Siphon Filter and Days Gone, but Ben Studios was literally allocated into making Vita games and PSP games.
Yeah.
That's all they did, bro. They made Golden Abyss. Like,
Yeah.
like the problem is, like, we were promised. I remember what's the dude's name that worked on BioShock. He was talking about a
Ken Levine. They
BioShock-
were supposed to be
Levine.
BioShock game. Yeah,
a BioShock for the Vita. Like, look at
and an
why
Infamous
Killzone
game.
Mercenaries and why Golden Abyss and Resistance, even though it was kind of a shitty game, but why these games are so cool and they're unique because they were made for the Vita. It's not like it's a separate game. Like, and like you don't find that shit no more. It's usually just like, oh yeah, let's port this game from the PS3 and but like these were separate games, bro. They had God of Wars, they had the whole Metal Gear collection. They were the problem is, man, I think, and the lack of third, there was one Madden, there was just there was not a lot of support
And
for
bad
it in
Call of
general.
Duty games on that thing too.
Yeah.
The PSP had everything. It didn't have this issue. Like, it was just so much shit you can buy. You guys remember NFL Streets? You had the Dragon Ball Z's on that thing. You had GTA.
Everything.
You had everything on PSP.
Almost 90 million sold. But I hear the PSP was easy to develop for.
Yeah, and, as well
What
as like
surprised me with those little what's it called, XMB disc, the little disc inside.
Well,
of the
that's just the
cartridge.
disc. That's just the format they're being played on. But the development part of it,
I didn't think it would work personally, Blaze. The way it was, set up like that, I didn't think it would be that easy for them.
And listen, those little XMB things, you might find them annoying or they got ruined over time, but that was something unique.
Yeah.
That kind of like, damn, people like, what are they? Oh, I can collect my little DVDs for this shit. It came at the right time. The Vita, people say it was underpowered, like it needed a little more juice, and I agree, but that's not the reason why the Vita didn't sell. Like, when you look at the 3DS, and bro, I remember holding a 3DS or a DS and holding my Vita, and it's like, dude, are people fucking blind? Like, what? Dual analog sticks, OLED screen, touchpad, camera, like what?
Party chat.
Dude,
Party chat.
Sony
like,
was putting legacy
and achievements,
titles.
trophies.
Yeah, Sony was putting legacy titles. I know y'all remember this on the PSP versus the Vita. Like, for example, y'all remember Ape Escape? Ape Escape got a specific game for the PSP. It was called Ape Escape Academy. Still one of my favorite games of all time ever on a handheld. It was so fire how they did that. They had that. You had your Jesus Christ, so much.
Big Cloud, the thing with Sony is they banked on, hey, we got a PSP library and you can just go in from the Vita and download them right now and play them. So they were banking on, but think about it. If you're a PSP owner and you got 100 fucking games right there behind you, and you're like, well, yeah, you can still use them, but you got to rebuy them. Like, well, I already fucking own them. That sucks. Come on, like they should have thought of something like, hey, it sucked that I talked to my friend. He had a huge PSP library, but Sony said, hey, you can play back and pack games on the PS Vita, but he had to repurchase those, man.
Yeah, that's...
even though he has the fucking disc in his hand. There's nothing he could do about it.
Yeah, and like Big Cloud was saying, it's they had those legacy titles. Even Kingdom Hearts had one as well, Birth by Sleep, which a lot of people consider like one of their favorite games. And like a lot of Metal Gear as well. And a lot of, from what some people are telling me, I never had a PSP at that time frame. I had a Vita. But what some people say is another driving force of the PSP being super successful was like you're able to homebrew it and stuff.
Yeah.
And whereas like the Vita was very hard to homebrew, like until just like recently or something like that.
It kind of fell into the cell phone category down the road. The PSP, I remember it went from being what was it called? It was PSP Go, and then it went from that to PSP 1000 or 3000, and then they had the PSP Go where it slide up. And it became more of a cell phone, which I remember I saw that dude had it hacked. It was funny as hell in high school. He had it hacked. And he slid it out. I was like, what the hell was that? He had like all the little numbers on it. He's like, yeah, it's hacked. I was like, that's fire. But It's
I just don't see
different time,
them
man. Different time.
doing handhelds ever again.
I don't need
Like, I want them to,
Yeah.
but I just don't see it.
I mean,
Never
they
say
could,
never, man.
but it
You've
won't
seen the
be
revives of
like that.
handhelds right now.
Well,
man.
they-
You've seen-
Oh yeah, you're seeing it with Switch and Steam Deck. It's just, I don't know, man. Sony's like stubborn at points.
No,
It's too
but
much of
Red
a
Hood,
hassle
that's
because
old
they have to
Sony,
have the
bro.
content.
That is so old. So and new Sony, like I told you,
But you
guys,
think
bro, I don't-
you
New
think
Sony
Jim
can
Ryan
sell
would
anything,
say
bro.
like, you think Jim Ryan's gonna be like, yeah, just we'll make a new handheld.
But Red
Yeah.
Hood, that was the PS3 Sony. Like Sony also fucking lied about the PSP.
Yeah, sure.
I mean the PS Vita. They also said you could play every game and continue. Like no, that was like the
Yeah,
case
that
for
never
a few
happened.
games.
Yeah.
You know, and the whole the stream, like streaming things to your TV, like that shit barely worked. You know, but once the PS4 came out, the hardware was there, the power was there for where they
Yep.
could do that. Yo, share play is fucking awesome. I was playing Elden Ring on my Vita, just trying it out, and look it. If it wasn't for the controls become the crutch. Not even the screen or the input lag. It's the control. And Sony fell victim to, instead of having clickable R3 buttons on your analog,
That's
the
true.
clickable R3 buttons is a major factor. No L2 or R2 is a major factor because it just made things difficult. Like, they thought a touchpad was viable, but that's because the iPhone and all this shit was exploding touchscreen games. And they thought that would be like the viable option when in reality it was a big mistake to do that. They should have just put physical fucking buttons.
Didn't they
But
come
yeah,
out
like-
with a companion for the Vita? It was called Vita TV. I think I remember
Yeah.
that, right? It was like a small little thing. It was like a little.
Yeah, it's right here.
Connected to your TV.
Yeah,
yeah.
you have it. Yeah, it just goes to the TV.
yeah, I know what you're talking about. I
Bro,
think Jack
I played
bought one.
Killzone on this, okay? Killzone Mercenary, and then guess what? I was using the DualShock 5 or a 4. It's like, well, the 5 you can plug in, but the DualShock 4, the fact that I can use my PS4 controller and play Killzone, it was so much easier to control. And the other thing about the Vita is when the big problem with the Vita, dude, a lot of people don't know this, is go look at a lot of the reviews for Vita, and it's either B-roll or it's fucking Greg Miller on IGN. Like, dude, this is IGN, and there's a camera over his shoulder recording footage because you couldn't capture gameplay.
No.
Yeah.
You can't capture you had dudes were sending it to Japan to get it modded so you could capture gameplay. So think about that. So like people are like, damn, like, does that look good? Like it was just they made stupid decisions, man.
The only other problem I had with it was like the buttons I felt were a bit too small. For me personally. Like I wish it was
They
a
got
little
the
bit
best
bigger.
The Vita's D-pad.
Oh yeah,
probably
it's the best
I
in
love that
terms of
D-pad.
handhelds. But I wish like the face of buttons were a bit like bigger for me personally.
Facts, Nova. That's a great. Yeah, the Vita, the Slim Vita, right? It got away from proprietary, went to a USB, a micro USB, which was great. Because if you broke the Vita, remember, you had to go find this charger, and places don't have it. But that was great. They slimmed it down, LCD screen, whatever. You can't really tell unless they're side by side. But he's right. They should have added. They should have called it the PS Vita Plus and added a few more buttons. Like they should have, man. They really should.
Yeah.
You know what it is? When you play the Vita,
Or
if you
XL,
play some of the
maybe?
games, if it's not a game that was built for the Vita, it's like you're almost playing a game that's like half. It's like it feels
Half
like a
done.
console, but it's not a console game because you're fighting the controls, man. It's weird.
Yeah. I'm with you on that. Let me get these super chats real quick. Shout out to John the Dom with the $2 super chat. He says, could they make a Resident Evil game about Ada Wong? I think all of us would buy that day one if we got an Ada
They
Wong
could.
focus game. But yeah, I absolutely do believe they could do one for Ada Wong. I don't think she's dead in the series, right? She didn't die in the series, yet, did she?
Was
Did she? I don't
it
think
6? I think
she died in 6?
I think in 6, but it's hinted that she didn't die.
I mean, I didn't play.
Like
6,
I don't
so-
remember 6 that much because I hated 6 a lot. So
I didn't
tried
like
not to
the running
remember.
mechanics on 6. Shout out to Perfect Image with the 5. He says the Vita was a second controller. That is facts. That was facts. Shout out to you guys. Appreciate y'all. Damn, we can talk all day about the Vita, man. It's a lot of missed opportunity there, especially with the Vita TV and everything. And it would have worked. Personally, it would have worked now that the Switch has gotten more eyes on the handhelds again. We got some pictures finally. We got to see Deviation Game Studio. I don't know if y'all saw it on Twitter. Did you see it? All of y'all?
Yeah. All the concept footage that they put out. Yeah.
Looked really good. They're saying that they're proud to be purchased by Sony and excited to be part of the team. Now,
wait.
are
Are you talking about Haven or
no Deviation Games?
Wait. They weren't acquired.
They weren't acquired though.
I mean,
yeah, no, or Fire Sprite, you mean?
Was that Fred?
I
I
read
read
it wrong.
wrong.
Haven.
I read it wrong. I'm sorry. I read it wrong.
It's Haven or
There's so many rumors that they are acquired because there was photos of their office.
It says they want. I'm sorry.
Controllers all over the wall.
Yeah, I read it wrong.
Yeah.
It says looks like former. Oh, this is they want to be acquired. I'm sorry. That's what it says.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be making what is it, a horror-based game or something? Deviation.
I thought it was a Call of Duty.
Is it horror?
Or no?
First person.
I thought it was supposed to be more. Yeah, like first-person shooter.
Deviation.
It might be horror. I mean, listen, I'm all for it. I really want to see the talent like
That'd be
go
awesome
up.
if it's horror.
I'm all for it because we got Dead
like
Space
him better.
remake. Yeah, we still got Dead Space remake and Blaze. By the way, they confirmed new sounds for the weapons, bro, for Dead Space.
Nice.
So they're not using the same sounds. They redid every sound for the weapons.
I just hope I would be over the moon, dude, if Deviation was a sci-fi game. If it was like similar to Killzone or similar to Resistance. Like, I'm so sick and tired of like realistic warfare with Call of Duty and Battlefield. Like, it's just oversaturated. I want Sony to like really invest. No, they have Destiny now, so that's probably their like sci-fi cash cow. But
so it's supposed to be a FPS. Comes out 2024. And it's supposed to be supported for a while. The game.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be like games as a service.
Like a long-term roadmap for it. Yeah.
I can see that.
That's like. I think they're probably the most likely studio to be acquired. Like, it just based on like Haven Studio getting acquired and like the photos that we've seen, and we know that they're obviously going to be working with Sony probably exclusively for the next like 3 to 4 years plus, right?
Makes sense though. I mean, with Jade Raymond and her working relationship with Sony, I mean, again, that's a golden opportunity type of thing. She can make lightning in a bottle. She gave you guys Assassin's Creed. So
I'm wondering how much they paid. You know, just wondering, because like it would have been way more if it was successful.
I'm gonna say they probably got at a deal. I would be surprised they paid up there like with Insomniac pricing, like 200.
No.
What really?
No.
They haven't even released the game yet.
They haven't released the game. That's what I'm saying. No
startup
way.
type of stuff, like
no, dude, not even star power, bro. Like
no,
you
don't think so. 100 million
because they funded their studio as well. There's no way they would pay 200 million for. a studio.
The
like
extra
that.
cash goes to the project. So I mean, they could immediately have like different teams and immediately be working on another project. You never truly know.
I'm gonna lowball it and say like I don't even think it's in the 100 million range. I think it's like in the 10 million range.
10 million? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. What you at, Blaze? What you think? 10 million? Did they get them super cheap?
Yeah, bro. Like, Sony finds ways to like invest into these devs and get them at the right price. They always find a way to like, like Insomniac will go down. Like I said, like that's probably the best deal, best bang for your buck, bro. So
yeah.
Agreed.
Okay. Shout out to Gaming Forte. What's up, brother? Appreciate you coming through. He dropped the $5 super chat. He says, I miss my Vita. I put an ungodly amount of hours in Hot Shot Golf. That handheld was truly ahead of its time. Great show, gents. Have a good weekend. You too, bro. Shout out to you. Perfect Image again with a 5. I appreciate you, bro. He says, my question to the panel, instead of making a Vita 2 to complete... I'm sorry. What he said. My question is to the panelists: instead of making a PS Vita 2 to complete, they went.
I think it compete.
Or to compete,
I think
I guess he means. Yeah, to compete, make a PS.
They went PC. What do they mean? Like, I mean, their games are. I'm just confused on like what's the phrase.
I'm guessing you mean instead of them making, I guess instead of them making this, a 2, they just went and ported their games to PC. I mean,
that's what they're doing, right?
Yeah, that is what they're doing. But
maybe he means like Steam Deck.
Yeah,
oh,
I mean, like,
okay,
yeah,
maybe.
Steam Deck.
Like, dude, would you not buy that? Like, if it was like $1,000
I don't know
to
about
get.
I don't know about that.
Oh, what? $800? What's your price point? If 800
For a
bucks
PlayStation
to have
5 on the go?
like a PS5 Pro powered device in your hand that was connected to PSN, where you could download your games and you could play God of War Ragnarok on your handheld.
What's the lowest you're paying for the Steam Deck? Was it 4 or 5?
Oh, $450.
$450, and that's just for the
64
they
gig
can
flash.
shrink
storage.
down-
Sorry, dudes. I'm thinking Canadian.
Oh yeah.
Wait,
I
what?
was thinking
What?
$1,000.
Hey, you got me confused there. Well, what? $1,000?
Yeah,
Sorry, what's
I was
the US?
like, yo,
What's the US?
yeah,
Okay,
450.
$500.
64 gig flash storage.
Sorry, dude.
I was like, yo, that's a lot.
I got the high end one. It's gonna cost me like $1,000.
Jesus
Yeah, it's
Christ,
like
you guys.
I think it's like 600 something. The anti-glare etch screen and the fastest NVMe 512 gigabytes.
Not even a damn OLED. Jesus.
Okay, so but let's say that at the same price, like $450 for like essentially a PS5 in your hand.
I'd take it. I'll buy it. Yeah.
Would you take it?
I'd take it.
So what is he saying? Like basically like a PC version for Vita 2, or
a companion
Bro,
device, maybe.
Bro, they
Companion.
shrink down the dies. They shrink down all the fucking chips, and they could I'm not saying easily, but that would be a dope. Not a PS5 Pro. They just take once the PS5 becomes cheaper to manufacture, they could take those same chips, shrink them down, and put it into a portable. And there you go. Now instead of people buying all these games for their library, as soon as they buy that fucking PS Vita 2, they have a massive library already in their hands because they've already fucking had the PS5 and PS4 for years.
yeah, that's what they need to do. Is if they do make one, their ecosystem needs to translate to their handheld device. So if you have the game digitally, like it should work on your
It would have been fire
device.
if they came out with this with the announcement of the new Plus tiers.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
That would have been fire.
Could you imagine if you had imagine you had like a PlayStation console connected to Plus where you could download your PS1, your PS2, your PS4. You have to stream PS3 for now, but whatever, man. Like, dude, like
they can have like a Switch like
it's your retro console, it's your PS5 modern console, it's everything all wrapped into one.
And I think they should allow to homebrew it. They need to allow to homebrew it. So if you want, like, because the thing is, like I doubt that they'll do the whole having PS3 games locally and into the device, because like the Steam Deck, for instance, like you can freaking have a freaking emulators on it and stuff like that. Which I think they should do that if they go that route, because people will be like, shoot, I can play PS3 games on PS5 mini device.
Yeah, they can have like a Switch like commercial for like to show somebody on their console. They put on the dock or whatever, connect it to the PS5 and download everything they want, take it to work, put it back on the dock.
But the thing is,
your
progress.
PSN,
right?
They
have the cloud storage, the cloud upload. Upload. You can literally put on the dock. You can put it up to the cloud and whatever. Everything syncs your trophies. Boom! It's like you never left your game. That would have been perfect.
That's what the freaking Steam Deck does. So like that's what they need to do. But the biggest thing is also, don't make a separate version of the game. Like let's say, I don't know. Let's say God of War Ragnarok goes on this device, right? But it's the PS5, PSP, I don't know whatever they want to call it. Terrible name, but you get where I'm going with.
Vita 2 sounds good.
Something like that. But if I have to repay for the game or rebuy, like that's a no-go for me. Like, because you got Steam doing this where you're able to have your library on the go. It also needs to be the same thing.
I think they have to, man. Like just the way things are going, no one would accept having to buy a separate version now, right? Like there would just be too much protest. It would kill the device before it even comes out.
That's not true, bro. Look at Nintendo. They literally ported everything from the Wii to the Switch, and people bought it glad.
That is true.
Nintendo fans do
They
that.
buy
Kind of
everything.
weird.
I don't think
They're
Sony
weird
fans
breeds.
put up with as much BS as what Nintendo.
That
fans
is true
do.
because
True.
the 3DS like store and all these other stores are closing, and Nintendo fans don't care. But when the PS3 store and the Vita stuff,
Oh, it was pandemonium.
like everyone was going at them for that. But
yeah.
dude, no one cares if it's Nintendo. To be fair, the Wii U, yeah.
Unless you want to add, oh, Blaze, what let me get some. Let's take a few questions from the chat, man. I got one from Asian Suzuki. I got you, brother. I did see your comment. I definitely want to add this. So he says, Big Cloud, I'm trying to understand why do people care so much about an acquisition instead of games for this year? Why don't we see more games? Well, the thing is, games are coming. We know the games are coming, right? The thing is, for what the way things have been going, especially with the conversation, consolidation of studios is something a lot of people are either fearful of or, you know, it's become the big trend. Like the whole Activision thing kind of changed a lot of the conversation a lot in the industry. So a lot of people go, damn, if Activision gets bought, anybody can get bought, you see what I'm saying? And everybody wants to see what's going on. I mean, we got confirmation that Max Payne is getting a remake for 1 and 2. I can't fucking wait for that. That's going to be fire, right? But imagine if there was talks of the developer of Max Payne, right, the remake, was being purchased by Sony or something. Everybody be going crazy. Why? Because it's a big topic. It's a big trend. It's something that's going around in the industry. And quite frankly, it feels like, you know, like back in the day, dudes really were like show off their Xbox gamer score or PSN trophies. Like they were like literally go, yeah, I'm this level, you're this level. It's like boss plays type of thing. People are seeing in conversation where it's like, yeah, well, you guys got that. Well, guess what? I'm gonna one up on you. I got this. You know what I'm saying? And then that's kind of what it's turned into, that type of thing. What you guys want to add anything to it?
Well, just I think acquisition is the hot topic because there's just so much of it that's happening, and it's like, do I want Sony to just focus on the games? Actually, no. I mean, I'm a gamer. Of course, I want to play awesome games. That's all I want is awesome games. But like, I need them to be in the acquisition game because if they're not, then the Sony of today won't be the Sony of tomorrow. Like, Sony needs to lock in studios. Microsoft is locking in studios. Other big companies could be coming into gaming. Look at Tencent, right? It's almost like, you know, sure, it sucks that we're talking about this so much and they're spending so much money on this, but like, what would you rather have? Would you rather have, look at Microsoft Sony just bought another like 3% of Epic Games. Well, Tencent owns like what, 30%?
Yeah.
Somewhere around there. Do you want Tencent to own 60, 70, 90? Like, do you want Tencent to buy all of Epic and then buy Square next and then buy Capcom next? Like, exactly. No, I think I'd much rather have Sony buy some of these publishers. So it's like content is like the new battleground, man. That's all it is. It's the new battleground. And
I know a lot of people were afraid of I was going to add on to that, what you're saying. I know a lot of people are afraid of the Activision deal, but like, again, like you just said, who are you guys happier with buying Activision? Are you happier with Microsoft buying them or Tencent or EA or something? You know, I mean, like it's better off that.
I think
even though EA is publisher, but
go ahead.
That was that.
I was gonna like add, like, personally, do I want consolidation to continue to happen? No, but it's the trajectory of this generation. It's gonna happen. It's gonna continue to happen. And will people get sick of it? It's a possibility. People are gonna get sick of it. But like Hunter said, like, it's the war for content, and Xbox needs a bunch of studios to pile up their service for, you know, Game Pass. And if PlayStation does nothing, they're going to draw the short end of the stick and not have a lot of games come to their system as a result. And I don't think gamers would want that either.
I think this is a bunch of bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the only reason this whole acquisition shit is happening Okay, the whole reason why Microsoft is buying games because they had no games, they had
That's true.
no developers,
Yeah.
they didn't have enough to continue to put out these great experiences. Again, the whole reason why Sony's trying to make this whole Game Pass competitor is why, because of Microsoft, because the whole game thing narrative, it all falls back to Microsoft. Microsoft, say what you want, but they're literally trending the market right now because they make this move, they got the resources and money to do it, and then when it becomes a viable option and it becomes successful, now Sony has to, well, shit, well, they're doing that, we gotta have some sort of, something similar, so our people can enjoy the same way they're enjoying on that. It's just like if Microsoft had all these studios, it would have never been this big acquisition, unless dudes are going bankrupt and they need to be purchased. That's different, but this is an explosion because Microsoft just went out and started buying, and now Sony feels threatened. Like, dude, they're just gonna start sweeping up all these games. Then what? Then we're gonna have no, now all our third party support is gone.
Yep.
I agree with you, and I agree with Captain Crunch. In terms of managing the studios that they haven't done the craziest good job. I don't know if y'all saw the new trailer. You seen it, Blaze, for Halo Infinite?
Oh, did you talk about the season two?
Yeah.
Two maps?
Did you see it, Blaze? Oh my God.
Yeah,
Listen,
but
they were better off delaying this damn game. If that was the best you got, you better off delaying this game.
Dude, this is why I was saying, like, the last episode that we were talking about this, I think, like, the best thing about the Microsoft acquisitions is they're actually letting, say, like, Bethesda just run themselves, right? Because that's like Activision will just run themselves because Microsoft has no idea how to run studios.
That is true because their first party studios, like Undead Labs, for instance, they're in pre-production still.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that they're still in pre-production, and they've been in pre-production since the announcement trailer for their State of Decay 3. Then you have, what was it? The Initiative.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the veterans left that studio, and they had to get Crystal Dynamics on board because they want to do the top-down in terms of ideas and stuff.
Dude, look at certain affinity with Halo
and Rare as well. I forgot to mention Rare.
Right, like certain affinity was just brought on board to create. Everyone thinks it's going to be a new battle royale mode,
which is
but this is like this is the state of management in Xbox Studios. Like, could you imagine if Naughty Dog had to like call up Crystal Dynamics and be like, yo, our game is like is not doing well. Can you take over the game? Like, could you imagine Sony doing that? Sony would never do that. But like that's just it. Like I'm so glad that they're actually like I think there's actually going to be some really good games and probably a lot of really good exclusives that are going to be coming to Xbox because of the fact that Microsoft is just taking a hands-off approach and just being like, the next Doom, like Bethesda, you take care of that, right? Doom Eternal was amazing, so I can't wait to see what the next Doom's going to be like.
Yeah, like Doom's fine. The studios that I'm kind of worried about, even though I know a lot of people have like a weird, I wouldn't say lukewarm reception to, right? But you guys remember Hellblade 2 when we finally saw the gameplay? Of it. A lot of people thought that wasn't going to be how the game was going to look. But again, I mean, if you played Hellblade 1, this is pretty much how it runs. It's more like one of those interactive movie one-shot type of games with a few segments. I don't know, like some games I do have my little bit of a doubts and fears for. Like Gears, I'm not expecting Gears to really wow me. You know what I mean? Unreal Engine 5 is amazing. We're seeing a lot of versatility in there. We're seeing crazy new weather mechanics. We're seeing better, things in place. So
vegetation,
development.
all that.
Right. We're seeing all this stuff. But that's more so that falls in line with the more of the old that we've seen multiple times, which is called refinements. You know what I mean? We're not seeing much else. So it's hard for me to get super.
That's my point too. Like,
yeah.
Like, when you look at Microsoft Studios, I would say like their top two studios for sure is Playground, right? Playground is like number one, and then the Coalition I think would be number two. But even like I'm in a weird spot with Gears because like Gears 5 is like technically amazing and I played it and I thought the campaign was at least better than 4.
Yeah.
Multiplayer was all right, but it's like I don't know if it's just me, but like after like a couple of weeks, I was like, okay, I don't really have any reason to go back, right? Like this is coming from a guy who's I'm definitely a huge Gears fan, and back in the day on 360, I would be playing like 1,500, 2,000 hours
Yeah.
of Gears
Multiplayer.
multiplayer, right? But the thing is, like, the multiplayer in Gears 5, sure, it's great, but the reason why I'm not interested is because they're just not innovating enough. Like I feel like it's the same stuff over and over again, and it's like I'm not in my 360 era anymore. Like I'm older now. I'm 10, 15 years older. Like I need something different. I need something new.
You need something to mix it up. To really
Like the what was it? I forget the mode, but the co-op, like entering the hive mode or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Like that was I think that was like Hive Buster, I think it's called.
Hive
that
Buster,
was that was added on afterwards, but like that should have been like that kind of thinking should have been from day one, right?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
why just focus on giving us the core when it's like how many players are like and it's not just me, because if you look on say like Steam DB or whatever, or you look on like the top most played games for Xbox, like is Gears even on there anymore?
No.
It's
Gears.
definitely fallen off. I'm
Like
I'm
2,000
sure
players a
Forza.
day or something, like
Yeah.
I don't know, it's
It's the same thing with Halo too. It's Halo Infinite, like in terms of Steam chart, like I believe Master
Plummeted.
Chief Collection overtook Halo Infinite, and they're
Yeah.
not in the top 10 anymore. And I think this is my thought is that they should put those IPs on ice and bring them back later.
Yeah.
Where if you keep
Yeah.
bringing them out and not doing much with them, then it's
Well-
becomes like Uncharted. I think if they made another Uncharted, it would have
go
suffered the
crazy.
same thing. Well, I think if they kept
If they kept
pumping out
pumping
Uncharted,
out, yeah, great.
yeah, then it would fall off.
Yeah.
But the thing is now they stopped doing that with Uncharted after Lost Legacy, right?
Yeah.
They put it to the back burner, and hopefully we won't get another Uncharted until maybe end of PS5, early PS6. That's I think how you should do something like that, because then everyone gets hyped for it. They're like, oh shoot, it's been ages. Like Mass Effect, like Andromeda, I think came out in 2017, and we're probably not getting a new Mass Effect game until like mid 20 like probably 2026 or 2027 after like Dragon Age releases, and that's the perfect time to release something like that, because it's been a while, and everyone's going to be like, oh shoot, they finally brought something back.
Yeah.
I think there's just too much focus, especially at the Coalition and 343, to like appease the longtime fans, right? Where it's like, but it's like, how many of those people are still around? There's obviously not a lot, because there's only 5,000 people that are playing it on Steam every day. But it's like it might sound cliche, but if they announced at the beginning there was like this like complete revamp of multiplayer, and it actually was going to be battle royale, and like had some cool new battle royale mechanic that just was like, wow, this is awesome. Like give me a Halo game that's similar to Apex, right? Legends and like cool stuff like that. Dude, I'm telling you, I'd be playing it today probably.
You know what it weird
Right?
though? It'd be cool, but it would feel like because you have those that would say it's lost its identity. Because remember, everything was going the battle royale type approach. Call of Duty, jumped into the fray. Like everything was
look at
mimicking.
Warzone though. Like look how much success they've had with that, man. Look,
can you really
like
see
look
Halo as a
what people are
Warzone?
streaming on Twitch. I bet you almost all the top shooting games are battle royale, right? It's still
I don't
PUBG.
know,
and
though.
Yeah, it's Apex.
it's still Apex. It's still Warzone. It's still.
But Halo with a Warzone, like Warzone style Halo, I don't know how that would translate to a lot of people. I mean,
I think you're gonna have
be,
like Big Cloud. Be honest though, a lot of streamers would be
I
streaming.
mean, yeah,
that
the
game.
streamers would be all over it. Absolutely.
Which
yeah,
a lot of
yeah.
streamers tend to dictate, like if a game becomes popular or not,
That's
because
true,
they stream
yeah.
the game.
Look at Among Us. That's true. Among Us. is a
I'm
prime
not
example of that.
saying that it's like I'm saying that they should have gone the battle royale or something similar or something original, unique, just to keep up with the times. Like that's all I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
Halo multiplayer, Halo Infinite multiplayer is actually really good, and I played it for a few weeks. But for me, after a few weeks, I started to feel like, oh, this is feeling like when I was playing Halo 3 and Halo 2 and Halo CE, and it's now 2022. I don't want to like, if I wanted those games, I'd just go play the Master Chief Collection, right? Or, right? Like it's just like I need something new.
You want
I
to
need
be
something
wowed. Let's face it.
fresh.
You want to be wowed. And
yeah,
it's getting
and obviously
tougher to get wowed by games because we're getting more. Like we got to this point, and we can all agree this because we got to this point. Visuals are not going to do it no more. I think we can all pretty much say that with confidence. Visuals are not enough to really wow us, right? It comes down to the gameplay and context of what you're doing. You see what I'm saying? That plays a factor. Like, for example, I'm super hyped for Wolverine. Y'all know this. Wolverine, I think, is going to be fire from Insomniac Games. But visuals aren't really going to be the thing that sells me. You know what's going to sell me? The tone and that gameplay. And what it does different from what we've already seen from the games like Spider-Man. You see how I'm going with this, Hunter? That's the thing that wows us. And we're not seeing that much from a lot of games.
Because even when I think back to Halo 4 and Halo 5, they actually had their own unique modes with them, like their own multiplayer modes, right? Wasn't there? What was it called for 5? It was Warzone, right?
Yep.
They had like their own unique spin on multiplayer, and same with Halo 4 had its own, right? But Halo Infinite doesn't have anything that's like unique to Halo Infinite.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
Like I don't know. Look at. I guess I'm not actually a huge Destiny fan, but like maybe they should look at that too. Like
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys play Destiny, but
you
like
know if they did it though, you already know how the communities would be if they did took like cues from Destiny, because you know how, like everybody's petty on the internet, like, oh look, they had to take cues from the original creators, and something weird would just, you know how this community is. Like that wouldn't translate well.
I don't necessarily mean like copy their modes to a T, but I mean like they're like
take inspiration.
Bungie thought out of the box, right?
Yeah.
Like what's something new, unique? Like what's a new spin that we can do to get people excited about that? And like again, like I'm not a huge. I play mostly the campaigns, a little bit of the multiplayer, but like but obviously what they've done for multiplayer has absolutely worked, because whenever I look at the top 10 games on Steam or Xbox, like you always see Destiny usually in the top 10.
Yeah.
And so yeah, like it's just it's I don't know, man. Like whatever Certain Affinity is doing with Halo is probably going to be the thing that might bring me back to playing Halo Infinite.
Okay. Red Hood, you have anything you want to add to that?
Nothing at the moment. Like,
does the Punisher have
just like I said, like the thing is, like, the only thing I'm really interested from Xbox is really its new IPs.
Okay.
And that's really it. Maybe a new Doom. And
so the old IPs have done what they've done, and you just want
that's my thing is, like, if they put it on ice, bring it back years later, then I think that's a wise decision. But the issue, especially with 343, the studio management with Bonnie Ross, like, it's just bad, and it's not going to be a 10-year freaking cycle for this game. I think by the second, like maybe in 2 years, they're going to be done with support with that game. And that, what I think for Xbox also is what Hunter is saying. I don't think they have it anymore when it comes to these multiplayer games. I personally don't think a lot of these multiplayer games have it anymore. It's only the battle royales like that are sticking with people, and it's only certain battle royales like Apex, Call of Duty, Fortnite, and that's really it.
Hyperscape. I'm just kidding.
Oh god.
And that's the issue. It's like, and everyone wants to do these live service games, and hopefully one sticks. And PlayStation's in that same mindset, like saying, like, hopefully this sticks, and we get a success out of it. And not, I'll say this also: multiplayer games don't guarantee success.
You said
at the end of
Factions
the day.
2 will save us. My fingers are crossed. I hope it does wow us. I do need something new. I do need a multiplayer game to really cling to.
Like a good example of what Red's saying is like, personally, I'm finding myself excited about the new Fable. I know that there's obviously like there is reports about how it's like slow in development and all this stuff, but like
You're not gonna see that until like the end of the gen, probably.
yeah, but I mean like,
Possibly.
but I'm actually like really excited because they put the franchise on ice for a long time, so
Right.
I've like built up desire and anticipation to play a new Fable. Plus, they moved it to a new developer, right?
Yeah.
Brand new developer, going to be brand new ideas, and you can tell that it's going to be like something completely new, right?
Yeah.
And so, whatever it is, I can't wait to see more of it and play it when it eventually comes out. But like, yeah, that's I think what Microsoft should do. I know they won't do that because Halo and Gears are like, they're synonymous with Xbox. But like, really, yeah, put those things on ice for like 3 years, 4 years. Start like the next whatever Xbox Series X2, whenever that one comes out, have that be like the next Halo, and let's just go dormant for the next few years, right?
No, good points, fantastic points all around. Blaze is back. Everything good, bro?
Yeah, I don't know, do you have a Windows update, Red Hood?
A couple days ago, I did.
I have to update mine. I haven't updated mine yet, so.
I was just clicking around, and it just like the little yellow thing at the bottom right, and I clicked it.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
over.
no.
Restart now.
Yeah, it's
Update, restart.
done at that point. No, we're just talking about Halo and everything. But we're pretty much at the end. You want to give your thoughts on the new multiplayer maps that was announced for Halo? Like, are you going to go back to it now? No?
No.
Because I already told you I installed it. Like, at this point, I'm not going back to Halo Infinite. I have my
Halo.
fun. It's done.
Yeah, it's all done, bro. The fact that you're bringing out 2 maps, the fact that this is your biggest franchise and you're treating it like it's just another franchise, like and especially after all the shit talking, and people keep saying how it dropped off the charts and nobody's playing it, it's dying, and like you think, if I was 343, I wouldn't open my mouth until I was absolutely confident and jam-packed with enough content that, oh shit, like, all right, that's, but like when you do this and come out and just show a couple maps, you're literally putting the stamp down, like, yeah, you're right, yeah, I'm not going back to that. That's not enough. Like, you gotta, and when Hunter says Battle Royale, like, yeah, Battle Royale for me is played out and still, but, and like, you're, Big Cloud, you're talking like you're this big Halo guy. Like, we're not Halo hardcore guys, so anything new that comes to Halo is a good thing. Like, it'll draw more eyeballs. People will try it out, especially something new, and that'll bring up, people are streaming, there's a Battle Royale, let me try it.
2 maps though, bro.
The 2 maps is pretty bad.
Like,
But that just shows you like where the franchise is at, though, because you just said like, we're not big Halo guys, but like we were, at least I don't know about you guys, but like I was. Like like the way I think about Apex Legends, which is like my go-to shooter now, that was how I felt with Halo and even Gears back in the day.
Yeah.
The issue also is with management with 343. Bonnie Ross and a lot of people want Bonnie Ross gone and new management to
speaks volumes
happen.
too. Yeah, speaks volumes. I'm blown away they want Bonnie gone. What's up, Dutch? I see you. What's up, Wandering Dutch? He says certain affinity taking the mantle for forward multiplayer content. Halo ain't done by next year. It'll be a different game, but right now it's lacking. I mean, fingers crossed by next year we got enough for the game. People's perspective.
I have doubts.
But
like
I really, after seeing these maps, I don't know if you saw them, Dutch. I'm not looking anywhere near anything Halo related for quite some time.
Dude, I really do think that certain affinity could potentially turn it around, though. It could be like a Sea of Thieves type situation. I think honestly, like the next year and probably year and a half of Halo Infinite is going to be nothing, right? But because I don't know how long it's going to take Certain Affinity to like build this from scratch. But dude, like if they announce like some brand new mode that like I can tell is inspired and looks fun and looks interesting, I'll check it out.
But you know the thing about CFDs and Halo, I think we all can agree. CFDs, they were like throwing stuff at a board. You know what I mean?
Yeah, until the Twitch streamers,
right?
Until
right.
the Twitch streamers also got a hold of it, and it was just like, oh, and then it became super popular.
Yeah, Halo Infinite. This is a shooter. This is a flagship. Franchise, iconic franchise. It feels like more effort is going into this TV show than it is in content.
The TV show
and the
isn't
TV
even
show
good.
is not that good either. In my understanding, it's not that good. We got
I dropped out
Master Chief
after
Unmasked. We got Solid Rev making his debut on TV. Like, come on, man, what's going on here? Shout out to Rev. But he's so out of it. But it's just
Talking about fucking Halo, bro.
he's just so out of it. He's like, just kill me. I don't want to talk about this. And it's crazy because you were one of the biggest hype men for Halo. You were so hyped for it.
And bought a lot of microtransactions in that game.
It was your game of the year last year.
He spent $500 on the microtransactions.
I don't think it was 500. I don't think it was 500. I don't think it was.
He spent like.
I think it was like over 200. I don't think it was 500.
He spent like 500.
I'm saving Blaze right now. I don't think it was 500.
Okay.
I think it was 200 max.
Bro, this man Blaze was buying everything, all the armors, all that shit, $30-$50 a pop.
Cat ears.
Yeah, he bought all that.
Did not buy the cat
Well, I don't
ears.
know about the cat ears, but he bought it.
Are we done here? Are we done with the Halo?
Yeah, we're done. I think that's a good way to end it. I think we can end on some laughs there. We're back in full effect. Obviously, next week, y'all already know. Shout out to everybody who came through, man. I appreciate y'all. Really do. Do me a huge favor. Hit that like button if you haven't done so already. Everybody who came through, we really do appreciate y'all. Thanks for rocking out with us this Friday. Always fun every Friday, hanging out with the boys, talking about
damn
this
like
gaming.
button,
These gaming topics. It's always fun. It's always a treat. Obviously, next month, you guys already know I got something big planned for y'all. We're still waiting. I'm waiting for him to get home so we can set that date. I'm looking forward to that. That way we can show it to guys. I'm also going to be doing some other stuff on the channel too. Obviously, one-on-ones are going to continue. We're going to have those set for you guys. Ironically, today's show was supposed to show off this damn thing, and you guys saw the colossal failure that was the start of this show. Oh boy, that right there is a different story. I might have to reset that up and try it again, but that's what that was gonna be. Who knows? I might get that away to a like, subscribe after we do the video for it. Anyway, appreciate y'all. Thank you guys very much. Let's do these outros and get the hell out of here. Let's start with Blaze. I know Blaze had the dip. He came back, but so I'm gonna get you out here first, Blaze. 'Cause I know you tired. Halo's kind of stole your soul, so. Let's start with you, brother.
We were up till 4 a.m, dude.
That's true. I'll let you go ahead and go ahead and rest. Tell them where to find you.
I'm good. I don't want to seem like the party pooper. I just like, dude, we're talking about fucking Halo. When I left, we were talking about Halo. When I came back, we were talking about Halo. It's just like,
Halo. Ain't it poetic justice though? Because when Solidcast first came back, that's all we talked about, wasn't it? It was Halo.
No, but Halo. Look at the foundation of Halo is fine. Like the gameplay is really tight and great. It's just nobody. Look at. I want Halo to be great, bro. I want it to be good. Like I want another game that I can go back to when I get bored of what I'm playing. Like I want Halo to have a shit ton of content, but it's not that. And I'm not gonna sit here and promote it and try to raise it up on a pedestal when it don't deserve it, because it doesn't.
So you just hold them accountable.
That's all it is.
I hear you, bro.
Yeah, I appreciate the talk. Good to see you, Hunter and Red Hood. Hunter, especially you, because I see you once a week, if that. Great guy, bro. Hunter, don't you ever think I'll ever forget that, for that Duck Moto GP, man. Like that shit, but no, seriously, it's good talking to you guys always, bro. Like Brian, you gotta be. I know you don't want to hear this coming from me, but you gotta be more consistent. You gotta wake up a little.
I will be doing that. I got you.
But yeah, good show. Have a good weekend. Have a good Easter. All that.
There you go. Blaze 4K, man. Guys, tune in to Wednesdays. Solidcast. It's no longer bi-weekly. It's every week. It's every week. So the only thing that's bi-weekly about Solidcast is one panel member, and that is Solid Rev, because he has to work. He has to work every like other week, or he's off every other week. I think, right? That's how it is. Like every other Wednesday.
Yeah, it's like 2 days work. It's weird. It's a weird schedule.
Yeah, but that's how it is for Solidcast. So we'll do that. We'll probably have we'll have our good friend Game On Daily on next week for you guys, so we can talk about some stuff there. And so yeah, we're gonna have them on. Looking forward to next week. Let's start with, of course, Red Hood here. Red Hood, out here with his little Marvel merch. He's got his little Punisher hat. You know what I mean?
It's a good Netflix show. I mean, now Disney Plus show.
Is it punishment that I got to see you wear that? Huh?
Oh, yeah, it definitely is.
It's punishment, they trying to say?
Absolutely. We're being punished right now, fact. But, great episode, and surprised that, we were able to get that much out of it with not that many topics.
That's why
I appreciate everybody.
That's why I love this group. Everybody feeds off of one another, has great takes, and it's just a natural conversation. And we'll be back, we're already back, but we're about to rev it up. So you already know how it is. We had to take a few breaks, few hiccups. Red Hood, you already know you went out of town, so I wanted to put some stuff off air for you. That way we can get you incorporated. This damn thing came to.
This man was just like messing with that, but make sure to hit the like button, guys. Like if you're watching this as a VOD or at work or anything like that, make sure to like button, subscribe, share. Make sure to follow everybody here. Make sure to check me out, Red Hood 240 on Twitter and YouTube, Twitch, Red Hood 420. By the end of this month, I should be actually pumping out content. Won't be as busy and certain things happening right now, so I should be done with that, man, by the end of April.
Tell them about the podcast.
They already know. Overlevel Podcast, bi-weekly.
There you go.
8:30. Channel Red Hood 420. And it was great seeing everybody, converse also on the comment section and or whatever you want to call live chat, and being respectful, and that's good as well. And peace.
All right. And last but not least, the GOAT, our good friend Hunter, aka Next Gen.
We talked about a lot of things this episode. It was great. Halo. We talked about Halo Infinite. We talked about. You know what? I was actually thinking it was good. You guys actually didn't ask my opinion of the Kojima thing, right? The banner. Right, but I'm actually glad, because I probably would have chatted for like half an hour about Kojima. all the many theories.
Everybody has so many theories.
Joining PlayStation, and is he actually Hassan Karan, or who is he?
That interview with Colin,
let's not talk about Karan.
That was like NDA. Yo, real quick, how you getting this budget back? Yo, NDA. It's like, there's no NDA on that.
Yeah.
NDA. It's like, yo, he asked one more time. Yo, I'm gonna give you this whole plot line. It's gonna sound like Metal Gear Solid and freaking Silent Hill. I was like, I'm done with that.
Didn't he say his outsourcing budget was $30K, even though he hired something like 6 of the top outsourcing studios
it made no sense
in the world?
Hassan, you're not good at
PR. Dude, 30K is the call, like the price of the first phone call. Right? That's the first phone call. Hey, we want to work with you. 30,000.
Hassan is out of his mind. He is not a good guy when it comes to PR. And also, wasn't there supposed to be content that's dropping on that app? Did anybody see any content? We still haven't gotten no content.
They said they delayed it. Or I think that's what he said.
Okay.
Yeah, it's delayed, and like he's gonna release a prologue that's gonna be like $10 or something, that's gonna pay for the development of the full.
Bro, I swear to God, that prologue is the same trailer, but just 10 seconds more. Like, instead of seeing his feet on the ground, you see like his arms or something. He's like walking. He just keeps walking.
Bro, it was just shocking. He just like spoiled that whole storyline. I was like, bro, you don't want to talk about the budget. Yo, here's the storyline. Here. I was like, wow.
the one that I won't get into it with Kojima because I could talk for hours on this thing. But the one thing that I will say that I thought was like the strangest thing of them all is the fact that he posted all these photos of him leaving the studio.
Exactly.
And then that was it, right? But we're like, you gotta think that Kojima, like when you look on his Twitter, he's the first dude in gaming development that would overshare. He is the biggest oversharer. He posts pictures of him like doing video chats with people and like actors and like him like cutting the new trailer, like a little like
getting tech from Sony. He's like, I got Sony Mono something.
I don't know what's going on with Kojima. I have no idea if Sony acquired him. I don't know if anyone else, Microsoft could have acquired, anyone could have acquired him. But like, where the hell? I just want to know, where the hell is Kojima? Can somebody out there, somebody in Japan, just
somebody go and see where he's at. Let us know.
I feel like tonight I should just tweet, where the hell is Kojima? And that's it. Just question mark. Where the hell is Kojima?
Oh man, put a milk missing Kojima. Listen, shout out to everybody in the chat. We out of here, man. I appreciate y'all. See you guys next week, and of course on the channel. Much love. We out of here. Oh man.